Hi, welcome back to my channel. So you guys, I'm so excited because today is Friday. Today is finally Friday. This week has been super busy. I've had a lot to do at work and I've accomplished a lot, so I can't complain. My morning started off great as usual. I went to the gym. Today was all about the bis, the tris, and the chest work. That was awesome. I have no complaints there. And I was going to do 30 minutes of cardio, but I'm gonna tell you, once I got into it, honey, 10 minutes is all I could stand. And then I got on my little self off of the Precor machine and went on home because that was just too much. I didn't feel like it after I did all my workout. But anyway, let's jump into today's topic. So I don't have a title as of yet for today's topic, and I'll come up with something fancy. But I want to talk about the importance of showing and telling your kids that you love them. And when I'm going to say your kids, but really I mean your children in general, because this is your children, no matter what age they are, you should always tell them and show them that you love them. Now, this subject came up because a couple of days ago I was talking to a friend of mine who had shared that their mom didn't talk about her life growing up. You know, never talked about that kind of stuff, and I could see a hint of sadness, a little hint of distance, because you know, because they can't talk about those things. Like, I can talk about things that my mom and dad share with me that they did growing up, places they went and things they were able to see, because they talked about that with my sister, my brother, and I. But when your parent doesn't do that, it's difficult, and you have a sense of, yes, I know my mom and dad, but I don't really know them. You know what I mean? And so I just want to encourage you today, talk to your kids. Even if you've done some crazy stuff, and y'all don't watch this video thinking or saying to yourself, not me, I ain't never do nothing crazy. I've been saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost all my life. You're telling a tale, because you have not, okay? You have not. Let's keep it all the way real, because you had Cynthia stealing a kiss from Barry behind the barn or the shed in her backyard, or the tractor, whatever was in your backyard. You did that. And then you had Carl up in the club with Big Booty Judy, backing that thing all up on him, thing so big it could just overtake him at any moment, but you were in the club doing that. So don't act like you have never done anything, because I promise you have, okay? Let's keep it real. But I said all that to say this, because I got a horrible visual just now, but I said all that to say this. Talk to your children. Tell them about the things that you experienced growing up. Tell them about the friends you had, the places you went, the things that your family did. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Talk about it, because guess what? Not talking about it doesn't make it such that it didn't happen, because it did happen. And granted, yes, not everybody had great upbringings, and some things you might not want to talk about, because talking about it causes you, don't pull out here now, talking about it causes you to relive some hurtful feelings, some hurtful moments and memories and things like that. And I understand that, but here's what I know: when you don't talk about it, it doesn't go away. You just aren't talking about it, because it's still in here and it's still up here. So talking about it allows you to release yourself from that. Let me just say this. And if you had an upbringing that wasn't so great, because not everybody can say that, you need to forgive those people or that person. And you're not forgiving that person or those people for them. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. You're forgiving them for you. And I had to learn that the hard way, when I realized I was holding a grudge against an ex of mine that had the audacity to break up with me for somebody else. And I had to come to terms with the fact that I was holding this grudge. And honey, that's been so long ago, it's ridiculous. And he probably doesn't even think about it. And it was just a couple of years ago that I was able to say, you know what, Lord, I forgive him for being the dumb jackass that he was. Not for him, but for me. Because guess what? That freed me, and it allowed me to move on with my life. Because if you know me, then you know there are very few things in life that I can say I hate. But I'll be very honest, there was a time where I really hated that man. In fact, I saw him at the subway station not too long ago, and I was thinking, Lord, if I was in my car, I'd run him down. But that's when I had to say, Michelle, nope, this ends now. You need to let that thing go. Forgive him, not for him, but for you. And then that way I was able to release myself and I can move on. So I said all that to say this: if you have not so good memories in your upbringing, forgive those people and let it go, and then show your child or your kids, be it grown or otherwise, the love that they deserve and need, because that is a horrible feeling. It breaks my heart when I would see, like, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was always hugging my child. She didn't have to wonder if she was loved because she knew it. And so I was always hugging my child, and I was always telling her I loved her. And even to this day, my baby turned 31 February the 21st, and I still tell her that I love her. I still, when she goes out, I say, no, be careful. Don't talk to strangers. Watch your surroundings. Mommy loves you. I always say that. And I'm never going to stop saying that. I could be 80 years old, and I'm still going to say it. She could be 80 years old, and I'm still going to say it because I mean it. And I've always done that. But not everybody experiences that. So I can remember a time when I was outside in the front yard, and I was hugging my daughter. And I saw movement, caught my eye, and I just happened to look, and 2 houses up, the little girl was standing at the fence, and she was watching us, and I could see by the look on her face and her slumped shoulders that she didn't get that kind of stuff at home. And that broke my heart. I mean, it really broke my heart, because I just, like I said, I don't know that feeling. And I've always tried to, make my child, help her to know that she is loved, because she is. And if don't nobody else love you, like I always tell her, honey, Jesus loves you and so do I. Although, my whole family loves my child. But I'm just saying, let your kids know that they're loved. Hug them. Tell them that you love them. But most importantly, talk to them about things that you've experienced. Because see, here's the thing. When you do that, you help them to become better people. You help them to avoid mistakes that you've made, because you've shared a little bit of yourself. And not only that, you guys, they get to understand that mommy and daddy, they're not perfect. I wasn't perfect, so I don't portray that image that I was. I made mistakes along the way. I'm not perfect, but see, I can share those things with my daughter. Some we can laugh at, and like I tell her, some things I regret doing, and some things I'm glad that I was able to experience doing, because it made me into the person that I am today. So talk to your kids, y'all. Don't. What's what I'm looking for? Don't try to. Because I think sometimes we think we're protecting our kids when we don't tell them about certain things. And on the one hand, you might be protecting them, but then on the other hand, you're doing them a grave disservice. Because guess what? When you're no longer here, they're sitting around going, wow, I never got to really know my mom and dad, because they didn't share stories with me. I don't know anything about their upbringing. I don't know anything about family get-togethers and things like that, because they never talked about that. And then what happens is when you leave this earth, then your child or your children is sitting back wondering, what kind of person was mom and dad when they were growing up? Now they could probably, if you have aunties and uncles, you can probably go and sit with them and talk about what kind of person was mom, what kind of person was dad, what did they like to do, where did they go, da da da. You can probably do that, but it's not really the same when you hear it directly from mom and dad. And so, like I said, if you are one of those people that you experienced that growing up, where your mom and dad didn't hug you and they didn't say they loved you, don't carry that over to your children, because that's so hurtful and it's very detrimental. Because let me tell you what happens. It creates a never-ending cycle. That's not a good one. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you have your grandmother and grandfather, they didn't show that kind of love to your mom and dad. So guess what? Your mom and dad now, they don't show it to you. And guess what? You have kids and you're not showing it to them, and so on and so on. And it just becomes this vicious, ugly cycle. And so I want you all to break that cycle today. Break that cycle. If that was your thing growing up, decide today, right now, this moment, when you finish watching this video, that you're going to go to your kids and you're going to hug them and you're going to tell them that you love them. And I'm getting a little emotional, because I can't imagine. Let me get it together. I can't imagine not putting my arms around my daughter, telling her that I love her. I can't imagine my parents not doing the same for me. So again, if you experience that, break that cycle, you guys. Break that cycle so your kids don't have to go through what you went through. And I'm so sorry that I'm starting to lose it here, but that's a very touchy subject for me. And I just, like I said, I think that everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves to be shown love, and there's no reason why we can't do it. Yes, you didn't get that growing up, but you don't have to project that onto your kids, who will in turn project it onto theirs. And again, it just becomes this huge, ugly cycle. So we're going to decide today that we are going to cut that cycle. That cycle ends now. It ends now because it has to. So now I'm all worked up here. I'm going to get it together, y'all. I'm so sorry. I really am. But that's a touchy subject for me, because I've seen it in other kids. Thank God my sister and my brother and I, we didn't experience that. And my daughter didn't experience that. But I did see that with other kids growing up. And it's just sad. And I'm thankful that my parents didn't experience that. So it's sad. It really is sad. So I do apologize for losing it towards the end. But I'm going to head on inside because, as you know, Dad has physical therapy today. So I decided I'm going to finish my telework day here at my sister's house. But I stopped to get my nourishment. So I have me sweet tea from IHOP. Y'all don't judge me. And in my bag over here, I decided to treat myself because I've been eating good. And so I've decided to treat myself, and I got me a Western scramble, which I call a Western scramble. I guess it's a real thing. I don't know, but it's scrambled eggs with some Swiss cheese. I have green peppers, mushrooms, onions, and I asked for 2 pancakes, but they give you 3 with the combo. So I'll either give the other one to my sister or just save it for another day, tomorrow or something. But anyway, so you guys, I'm back together. I'm back together. And it's funny because, y'all very rarely get a chance to see me break down like that. But I do. I'm strong, but I'm human too. So, again, I just want to leave you with this. Love your children. No matter what age they are, love your children. Never, ever, ever let them go through life. Yeah, I'm pulling out the driveway because my sister must have somebody at her house that's parked in the driveway. So my mom just got here, and I want to let her have this space. I'm pulling on the street. I'm recording, but I'm pulling on the street. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. So that's all I have, you guys. Thank you so much for giving me just a little bit of your time. I'm going to get up myself on back to work. I'm going to eat and work because that's what I usually do anyway. But I just want you to know, thank you so much to my newest subscribers. I'm trying to make sure I don't hit my sister's trash can because I don't want to hear her mouth. Thank you to those of you that continue to support me and all that I do. I love you guys to the moon and back, and y'all know it's nothing you can do about it, so don't even try it. Don't even try it, because I'm going to love you anyhow. I'm going to love you in spite of you. And if let me say this, if I don't get off this curb, what in the world? If you know a child who doesn't get that kind of love at home, just a hug. Now, I'm not saying you got to put your mouth on them and kiss them and what have you, but if they're not getting that kind of love at home, y'all hug a child. Give them a hug, because you'd be surprised at how many children are not getting that, and it's sad. It really is sad. So I'm going to pray. That's going to be my prayer for today. Lord, those parents who did not experience the kind of love that they should have experienced so that they could pass it on to their kids. Lord, I'm asking right now that you just touch those individuals. Open up their hearts, Lord, so that they can start to show their kids love, so that their child or children in turn will show it to their children as they get older, or, start to have their families. And so that's my prayer for today. And I'm claiming it right now in the name of Jesus. So again, if you have family members or friends and you know that they're not being hugged, honey, hug those babies. But be it they're grown adults or not, hug them anyway. Like I said, my baby's 31 and I still tell her I love her and I still hug her. And I might even pinch her little face if I feel like it, because she belongs to me. I gave her life. So that's all I have, you guys. I need to get back to work. I love you so, so much. And until next time, take care.